Welcome to the MessInShow podcast. I am the host that loves to keep it gross, Messy Gravis. Yeah, and I'm here again recording live out from Light to Tape in the Outhouse X. And man, it's a Memorial Day weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, man. Starting Friday, Saturday, and I didn't get to record. Usually, I record Thursday or Friday. I didn't get to record until right now, and I got to release this later on, today. For you lovely, fine people, the two people that watch out there. I see you. I see the two people out there. You think I'm not watching, but I'm watching. I'm always watching. It's like I haven't seen this girl for about 3 months now. Well, she hasn't been seeing me. Oh, little boy blue needed the money. Sorry, I'm a little delirious, but I want to get right to it, man. I want to talk about some shit I watched during the weekend. I started watching that on I think Thursday, and it was Terrence Howard on the Joe Rogan show, and man, the hell was that dude? Like, I didn't see that coming at all. Like after watching Lucius and all his characters that he plays, I knew he was a smart, intelligent person. Because every actor you have to be a kind of weird. You have to be like a vessel basically, and man, I just loved like the way he started this sacred geometry that he's talking about. Like, if you guys look into that, man, it's crazy. Like, I'm a believer of reincarnation. That's what I think of, and always, that was the laws of physics, like energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be redistributed, like you can't destroy energy. And I remember hearing that and was like, well, that's basically our bodies, made of electricity, electric impulses in the brain. And, we're just clumped up matter. And, we live on different frequencies, that's what, I'm a musician and I do believe the power of frequencies. And, I even believe in that's how UFOs get around with no sound and stuff because they can hit different pitches that you can't hear. Like when I went to audio engineering school in '07 in Arizona, and I've been playing drums for a while since I was I think 12, 13. I had anger issues, so I had to beat the shit out of the drums instead of people because I was getting in trouble a lot. And hence my daughter getting in trouble, for hitting people. And what was I saying? I can't remember. Damn it. See, I got stoned and forgot. Oh. Anyway, I was back to Terrence Howard and stuff, and I love the frequencies and stuff. I believe I'm a very believer. Oh yeah, that's right. The UFOs, how they can get around with not sound because they hit different pitches, frequencies. You can travel across a lot of time. Vast distances and shit. Different frequencies and sound waves and stuff. Literally ride the sound wave. And I like it where he was even talking about. He's like, "Give me you ever seen a straight line in nature?" I never really. That was a weird question. I never thought about that. Like, I've never seen a straight line in nature. Now that you think about it, like, it was crazy. And I was thinking about it, and he started bringing up what's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And I love Neil deGrasse Tyson too because he kind of explains it for the heathens like me because I'm an idiot. I have no idea. And I study somewhat, but I believe in the power of the person itself. Like your inner being, like you're basically that's what I read the book of Satan. As you do, you rebel and you're young. As a time in your life that you do give your life to Satan. It happens. And I remember that was the one thing that was stuck to me in that book was you're your own God. Like it's up to you to determine how you pre-manifest things in your life, and that always stuck with me. And I was like, wow, you don't have to worship, go to church and do all that shit. Just believe in yourself. I was like, well, cool, that's what I'm down with. Like as long as I stay true to myself and I be a good human being and try to give back to the world somehow. Make people laugh or do anything. And I'm watching this Terrence Howard thing and I was like, man, it sounds like he's almost trying to start a religion almost. I was like, I'm sitting there watching all the videos on him on Rogan and everything else. And I was like, isn't this how L. Ron Hubbard started? Like Scientology? All of a sudden you see Terrence Howard, because I remember he's in one of the videos he goes, I patented all these ideas before I even brought it to you. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, why would he do that? And he started naming off people that got ripped off, like Tesla and stuff like that with all his patents and stuff. And he goes, before I even, but I was like, well, how do you know that it's true? Like, then you have to change your patent after it gets changed. Like, what if you're not right? But he's dead set on being, you know, being right. But I started thinking about that, and I was like, wow, man, like I do, I dabble in, in the sound waves and shit like that, frequencies. I'm very in tune with that. And but he was talking about geometry. I never really thought about that, like shapes and the power of structure and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like he was talking about bubbles and stuff, and he's making the 3D DNA strands and shit. I'm just like fascinated. Just smoking a bowl. Like, what the hell is he talking about? And I was like, that'd be funny. Like he's talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like, oh, he dictates it, or he puts down these people, these kind of other scientists and shit. And I was like, that'd be funny if like Terrence Howard put out like a diss track against Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like, oh motherfucker, you don't know the size of my shape and the gump and the gate and I'm a pump pimp slap. Man, come on, man, that's geometry, man. That's geometry, man. That's a gump in the butt, Kendrick shit. Drake beef with and Tyson will come back, It's like, I'm the real Tyson, not to bite your ear off, bring me an alien to the town square. Like, it's like, oh shit. And they're dropping out diss tracks and just talking shit about each other. I thought that'd be kind of funny, Mr. Terrence Howard. That's so crazy though, man. I never thought he's so intelligent, that's crazy. But he's not as smart as P. Diddy. Oh shit, Mr. Sean Combs. Like, he cracks me up, man. I love Sean Daddy Combs. That's why I call him Daddy now, because he is my daddy. And he come back, man. Sign me to your label, dude. I'll redo Fupa Punch, and we can go on tour and shit. And let me clap them cheeks. Let me do that. Reverse. Save you dishing out. Now it's time for you to get dished and shit. I'll give me millions of dollars. I'll put on the dress. Let's rock. And hip hop. And but I saw that there was a video that leaked of P. Diddy, beating and not really leaving the shit out of his girlfriend. Like, I've had women hit me harder than that, but I do date some crazy, burly women too sometimes. They got the linebacker shoulders, they can take a push or two, but some women like that, some women like to get pushed, like, it's not me. That's just, hey, that's the way the human body was made. I'm not fighting nature, Terrence Howard said, man, we're all just different shapes, man. Just shape it up. And but it's funny because they were all talking. They raided his house, and I thought that they had a warrant for his arrest, but they haven't made any arrest or anything. They're not looking into it or nothing. And he fled to whatever lonely island that he's at. And I'm just like, okay, what's going to happen there? Then all of a sudden he started twittering or Xing whatever, and he was like, all these allegations with the truth to be in the light and stuff. And I'm like, oh shit, he's like Vince McMahon. He's gonna be starting shit again. He's gonna be fighting back with lawyers. Throw money at it, litigate Combs, baby. That's how we do it. And then all of a sudden that video leaked of him kicking her and stuff, and I'm like, God damn, P. Diddy, like, man, like, you talk all that shit. And the video is kind of funny because like he's running down with like a towel, like he's still running down. And I was just wondering, if he's hitting that crack pipe as he's, hitting her, how hard is he hitting that crack pipe compared to hitting her head? Because he didn't really hit her that hard. Yeah. But, the video is awful. I'm not condoning hitting women at all. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to see the funny in everything, Sean Diddy, because now, and it's funny because he's apologizing and there's like beautiful like nature behind him and shit, and like you can hear like the seagulls, and it's funny because he was probably like doing badminton and stuff, and he was like sitting there apologizing and going, hey, like, I'm so, I don't know what happened, and I want to change my life and I want to do better. Okay, we're done. We're done. All right, serve him up. Yeah, woo. He's playing volleyball. He goes spike it on somebody, and shit. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to rehab." Because rich people, they live on a different plane. They live in different, existence that we do, as the high class white trash. Self-proclaimed king of the burbs. The mess dog, road dog, Messy James. But no, yeah, that's just hilarious to me how he's apologizing and stuff, and now I want to know what goes on now, like, because now the police said they go, yeah, I know we got footage of him hitting her and stuff, but there's nothing we can do about it, and apparently like he paid somebody off for that camera or for that footage and stuff, paid him like 50 G's, and I wonder if now what's going to happen to them. Are they on the list from the government like Terrence Howard too? Like, are they on the government list? Because he's spitting that truth. But P Diddy, he wasn't really spitting truth. He was basically blackmailing like Epstein. He has some dirt on a lot of people, which is interesting. So stay tuned for that P Diddy shit. That's going to be crazy. And last Friday, I had a show at the North End Pub. Turned out pretty good. Forgotten Ashes and the Foleys. I love playing Casey's establishment, and it was supposed to be the Memorial Day banger and stuff. It was kind of cool. And I was not giving Casey shit, but I was messing with him because he had free hot dogs and hamburgers. And I'm sitting there and eating the hamburger, and I'm like, man, this is bullshit. He's like, what? You're serving tofu burgers on a Memorial Day weekend at the North End Pub? He's like, tofu burgers? Like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, I can taste the fucking feeling, man. It's impossible that this meat can't be fucking real. And he's like, get on stage, Messi. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm trying to set my camera up and stuff, And me and Lilith, we did the cool, we went to the Comfort Inn, Shout out Sarah for hooking it up. It was cool as fuck. The Comfort Inn was really nice in Lafayette. The swimming pool was really, cool. And it kind of felt like I was on tour again. You're sitting there and you swim in the hotel room, with your girl. This is my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter. And then we went bowling and stuff. And, I screamed, next door. She bowled. I screamed, went back, got her, went back to the hotel. We jammed. And, it was cool. I had more fun sitting in the bed eating candy and shit, watching Family Guy than I did, at the show. No, not sound old or shit, but I was like, man, her mother's fucking up, and I'm taking care of this little girl. I mean, she's gonna rock with me, and it was funny. She was like on the way out, we were checking out and stuff, and she was like, Daddy, I just want to let you know that I love hotels. And I was like, oh shit, I was like, that's good, and the whole time I'm thinking inside my head, I'm like, as long as you don't sell your body in a hotel, I think I'll do my job correct. That's all I can, I know. I'm like, you can love hotels all you want. And I was thinking about it, I go, oh, that's why she loves hotels, because when she was younger, Kibbles' wife works at, Motel 6, and she babysit for me, and she was little, I think, God, 2, 3, I think she was just walking and stuff. And she would walk the hotel and help her clean and stuff in the mornings and stuff. So even in her little mind, she's been, rocking out, all that good shit. And we, we put a good show. I'm gonna post some footage of the Master Hunter in this little description right here. Was that 14 minutes in? Yeah, we can try that. Play some Master Hunter. All right. And let's see, what else do we got? Oh, yeah, and the Saturday night, the day after, I went to go see Spite and Body Snatcher, And, man, they fucking killed it. Like, I love Spite. This is my first time seeing Spite. I've seen Body Snatcher at the Hoosier Dome in front of, like, 6 people. Like, it was kind of... And they killed it. They were playing in front of, 30,000 people. And to see them last night, at the... House of Blues, which I haven't been in the House of Blues since Gore. And I love the House of Blues. And it's funny, I went with my brother and Scooby, my guitarist for Master Hunter, And we're driving all the way up there, and we're smoking and laughing and shit. And we were talking about parking, trying to find it and stuff. And literally, we just turned this corner, and right in front of the House of Blues, it's like a little on the left. It's like people just parked in a little green area. And Tony, without even thinking, Tony was like, boom, just parked right there. And I'm like, whoa, is this a parking spot? And he's like, yeah, it is now, I guess. And I'm like, everybody else is parking here. And I was like, I hope it don't get towed, and it didn't. It fucking didn't. It was like the best parking spot in the House of Blues. Like, we got in, did the show, we went to walk down the street to the Harry Carey's Steakhouse, which I recommend. The meatballs were really good, shrimp scampi, and the waitresses were cool. And it was like the old school Chicago bar, like I love shit like that. And you walk back and parking spots right there. And we got in and out. It took longer to get back on the highway than it did to find a parking spot and leave the parking spot. Like, as soon as we got out of our safe bubble zone in the parking area, then it take forever. But it didn't take that long. Like, I've been in worse Chicago traffic, and man, it was fun. We first get there, and I'm having flashbacks of Gore, because I remember seeing all the plastic and stuff up, last time I was there. And we get there, and there's a band called Throne that was playing, and they're from Sweden. And I remember sitting there watching them, and I'm like, they're like new metal as fuck, but they have like parts in between, like the verses where like you hear like the bass going, like dun, 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 dun. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, well, that's a cool bass sound. But I'm looking at both guitar players, and they're both playing guitar. It's two 7-string guitar players, a singer, and a drummer. And I'm like, oh. And I'm looking closer, and they all have in-ears. And so I'm like, oh, okay, they're playing to a pre-recorded track. The bass line is getting played through the whole track. The drummer has to play to a click. Everyone just plays on, with the drummer. And I was like, wow, I think that's because I remember when Ronald McDonald Radke, or just Ronald Radke, where he was talking about he couldn't play a show without laptops and stuff. Well, in that instance, they couldn't play the show without the laptops because that's their bass player. Like, that's crazy to me now. Because I remember watching an interview with Vincent from the Acacia Strain where he said they did that for a fill-in guitar, where they had a pre-recorded track of his guitar, and he had to go away for a while, and they just played to a click with that recorded guitar, and they just followed the drummer that's playing along with the click with the guitar playing. And I'm like, that is crazy. Like, I drum for Resin and Dwarf, and you ain't getting me playing no fucking click live, because I like to play fast live. I like to fuck everybody up. I like to keep them on their toes. That's how I do it. And but yeah, it was a good show. I just love the environment of Chicago. And we're getting there, we're walking in. I get a beer, and he goes, $15. I'm like, no, just one beer, one beer. And he goes, no, it's $15 for one for 24 ounce. I'm like, God, I forgot where the fuck we're at for a second. Like the nostalgia. But it's like the same price in Indy for a beer too. I think like $12-15. Anyway, I pay it, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching them jam, and I'm there to see Spite, and the merch really wasn't that good. Like, I've seen better merch like the Cobra Lounge, with a bunch of deathcore metal bands, where they had all the hats with the design, the logos and shit, underneath the bills. Like, that's the future of deathcore metal. It's hats. It's hats. I'm telling you. You have a cool hat, you have a cool design. Like, I have my Mastodon hat with that trippy shit underneath it. Like, you've sold me. Like, I'll buy anything you got. If you give me a cool hat, I'll listen to anything you got. Just give me a cool fucking hat. And so I was there to see Spite, and I love Body Snatcher. They kind of remind me of like a newer version of Hatebreed, a little bit, with a little bit more metalcore influences. But I was there to see Spite, and Spite didn't headline it. It was Body Snatcher headlining it. And it was, and he killed it. And the lead singer of Body Snatcher, or no, yeah, when he was, he did a lot of the, whoa, whoa, a lot of that shit, whoa. I love that. Just dun dun dun, whoa. Like, they don't bark. Ow, ow. Like, that's a new thing in, hardcore. And the lead singer from Spite, when he got into the microphone and he went, I felt that. I felt that right here and right here. And I loved it. Like Spite, that's the old drummer from Attila too, I think. And like he's such a good fucking drummer, and everybody was just on key. I always love the look of like when the bass players in those bands, like they just try to look cool. Like they're just holding the bass is barely just holding down. They're like, and then I'm just playing the root notes, dude. I don't give a fuck what's going on, man. I'm going along with the drums. I'm just hanging out, dude. They all have that shit eating grin on their face, and then they just fucking headbang really hard, and then just stop, look around, keep playing, and just fucking spaz. Saying that, well, at least the good bass players that I've seen. But yeah, I love that band. That was a good night, and I got up there in the barricade, like the front of house, or the front of house board, and then they have like a little platform, and they had a little barricade, so people can't bump into the board. And I found myself right like up against it, my back right up against it was perfect. I was like, oh man, I've been standing on my feet for fucking hours. I'm tired. I'm old and fat. And I got it perfect. And there was this kid on the right with a backpack on, and he was kind of pressing up. You're like in there like sardines and shit, and he's pressing up against me. So I was like, ooh, I got some padding on there. So in the mosh pit, and then his girl came and. I don't want to say, is she a big old fart lordy? But, she was a big old girl. And then she had green hair, too. I thought that was kind of weird. And if you watch my video, I put the video of Body Snatcher. I got a minute of Body Snatcher and I got a minute of Spite. And, I don't sit there and record the whole fucking things. Like, I hate when people do that shit. Just like, I get a minute or two and then, enjoy it. But I want, evidence. Basically, that's all I'm basically showing. Like, look how cool I am. I go to the show. Here's a minute of it. Check it out. That's all I do. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, her friend just came out of nowhere, and she's bigger lady as well, but she's not as big. The other one was tall with the green hair, because sometimes she would flap her hair and fucking get in my head. And her other friend went there, and there's literally a circle pit. It was like right in front of it, like the mosh area, like, and they're fucking shit up. I mean, they're just destroying. If you watch my video, like I even clicked to the right, or and they're just fucking things up. But I was sit like perfectly, like on there, and every time like the big old circle pit would come, like she would bounce. She would hit her, and then her would hit me, and I would hit the barricade. And it was like just cushioning. So I can sit there and I can record that minute with my phone like this, and not affect my ribs. Because usually if you're doing that on your phone, you got to have one hand up, and you got to watch your ribs and shit, switch them out, make sure no one elbows your fucking ribs, because they will, asshole metal kids, But it was perfect. He had that backpack right there, and I had her two friends here. And so they just bumped, just a little cushion. I had a little, heavy metal cushion. Heavy girl cushion. I love it. And yeah, they did it. And I met the lead singer of Body Snatcher. I can't remember his name, but he's really, really short guy. But man, he's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. Like him and Frankie. Like I had that same kind of vibe when I met Frankie Palmieri from Immure. And they actually toured with Immure. He mentioned not too long ago. And just down to earth guy. He came out and he started shaking people's hands and shit. Taking pictures. Like a comedians would do after a show. And I'm like, dude, that's badass. Like that's how you get. That's why they're getting to where they are right now. You're playing the fucking Hoosier Dome in front of like 10 people, and like literally 2 years later, you're playing at the fucking House of Blues, Chicago. Just killing it. but he made me laugh. Because he was like, thank you guys for coming out and not showing up to the Attila show in Buenos Aires that was not that far from here. And I looked at my brother and go, oh shit, Attila's playing? Let's go. Like, let's get the fuck out of here, man. But no, yeah, that was a hell of a show. And now I want to do a thing. Yeah, I think I covered everything on my notes. So I want to do a thing where I call Finger the News. Or I take my phone and I go to Google, my Google News. So it's kind of my algorithm, And because I did the Samsung news, and it was like all depressing. It was like, man gets decapitated and this and that, body found dead in Florida. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But at least my Google is my algorithm. So I'm gonna finger the news. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, oh, stop. Ghost Rider 2025 trailer. Is the movie with Jensen Ackles real or fake? Is he gonna try to do the Ghost Rider? The guy from Supernatural? What's his name? Dean? Dean's gonna be the next Ghost Rider? What's wrong with the one Nick Cage did? Even though Nick Cage is a horrible actor, you know. Let's see. Rick Carlisle, Val's Vengeance. We are going after Celtics. Well, you better fucking go after the Celtics, man, because you're down 0-3. That's another thing that pissed me off, man. I'm having a good old time, just hanging out and shit, doing body snatcher, talking to these fat chicks, and all of a sudden, I get out of there. We go to the Harry Carey Italian food, and I ordered, my meatballs and stuff, garlic bread, and all of a sudden, I look up, 114 to 111, Celtics over the Pacers. I'm like, fuck, man, come on. Like, at home, dude, that was the first time we lost at home this year in the postseason. We were undefeated in the postseason the whole time at home. And I was like, thank God I didn't pay a ticket for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have sucked. And let me click on that. Let's see what we got here. It says, Pacers coach Rick Carlisle, Val's Vengeance versus Celtics after Game 3 loss. We are going after them. With the Indiana Pacers trailing 3-0 to Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, thanks to 2 blown leads in late 2 games. Yeah, that first game, that was your fault, Rick Carlisle. I'll give you that because he had that extra timeout. You call a timeout, you advance the ball so that you won't have the pressure of the other team. Because when they threw the ball in and he like dove in, he got in his own fucking way. And we turned the ball over and they scored and won the game. Or they went in overtime. And that's another thing where he should have found that 3 too. I wouldn't let him shoot that 3. I'd rather have him shoot 3 free throws before I let him shoot that 3, or because then he's not going to get off the shot. So it don't matter if he gets off the shot and make it. He's not going to get off the shot. You foul him so he doesn't get off the shot. Rick Carlisle, come on, prick Carlisle. You foul him before he gets the shot off. And I'm not even a head coach, and I fucking knew that. I was like, call timeout. What are we doing? We got an extra timeout. Same thing with Isaiah Thomas. He did the same fucking thing, when he didn't call a timeout and he rushed it. Larry Bird stole the ball. Larry Bird stole the ball, But in the Eastern Conference Final, thanks to 2 blown leads in late 2 games, Pacers coach Rick Carlisle vowed vengeance Saturday night. Ooh, that's going to be, Believe me when I tell you, we are going after them, Carlisle said about the Celtics after Boston stole a 114-111 win from the Pacers in the closing seconds of Game 3. Carlisle said the Pacers would go after Boston at least 3 occasions and added they would be punching even harder in Game 4 on Monday in Indianapolis. So, tomorrow, hell yeah. I'm going to be watching that shit. We might go. I'm going to try to go. I'll see you guys in Indianapolis. No team in NBA history has ever recovered from a 3-0 deficit. We got to win our next 4 games in a row. Yeah, hopefully. And, let's go. Let's go, Pacers. That's all I'm saying. And we're going to be undeterred. I think he said unretarded. I think it's what he meant to say. We're going to be back here Monday night looking to extend the series, and we're going to come even harder. And, I told Tony, I shouldn't have said it, but as soon as we started the Knicks series, I was like, we're going to win the Knicks, but we're not going to get past Boston, which kind of sucks. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm going to watch that tomorrow. So, Rick, you better fucking do it fucking right. And that's all the time I got for you guys tonight, man. So, Pacers go. I fingered the news. Next time I'm going to try to do a little longer. I'll probably do like the last 10 minutes to the last 5 minutes because that went way too fast. So stay tuned for next Sunday. And I love you guys. And this has been the MessInShow podcast. Like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And let me know what you think. Comment, talk shit. Let's do something. Let's get something moving, man. All right. Love you guys. Peace.
Holy shit. I would really like to see the ball on the floor tripper. AKA the flying guillotine. Never the victim, always the victim. Yeah. Die!